Hello everybody, it's If here from readthemarket.com. I'm going to do a little bit today on compression. Now, any of you who already have visited the Marketpedia section of RTM, etc., will know all about this, so there'll be nothing new for you guys in here. Although I am going to ad-lib this, so you know I always throw in a little bit of something when I ad-lib this stuff, so maybe there is something in it for you. Anyway, I'm going to discuss what compression is and how it works and how we can use it, and it is all very, very simple stuff. As ever, it's just about the manipulation of the hopes and fears of retailers by the institutional traders. They have to do that. It's their way of doing everything and their way of making money. So we'll begin with price going up. Let's say it's going up to this area over here where the ITs will want to start selling. Now, if they want to start selling on the way to there, there's no point in just pushing price all the way up and then selling and then taking price all the way back down again. They just will not have enough orders against them. They're going to want to have buyers and buyers and buyers all over the place around here for them to sell to. Now, yes, if you're just pushing price up, people are going to be getting in on the buys, all right, but you know, it's going to run out of steam and there isn't going to be enough of it there. You have to give somebody an immediate reason to buy in order for them to buy. So what you're going to start doing is getting in early into the market and start swapping out your orders. You're net long on the way up to where you want to turn price, and you're going to have to get to net short sooner or later. So if you want to start selling, then you are going to need the retailers to start buying. So how do you do that? Well, you're an institutional trader. You say to yourself, okay, we've been long on this all the time and we're going to go short up on here. So we have to start getting in early and swapping out our position. So you do something simple, like on the way up, you're going to go over here and you're going to make a high and then you're going to make a low and then you're going to make a lower low. Simple stuff. So what do you have here? You have a trend change. You have price going from up to down. Up is higher highs and higher lows. Down is lower highs and lower lows. And that's what you're starting to do here. So that's brilliant. You have just changed the trend in the mind of the institutional traders, or in the mind of the retail traders. So, okay, usually over here, let me just shift this over a little bit. You come out of the way. Seriously, go out of the way. Just go. Yep. Okay. Usually you're going to have something like a little left shoulder over here, bum, 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 on the way up. Now we know about left shoulders and we're good with left shoulders, and a lot of people kind of, you know, they know a bit about left shoulders, but they're more about supply and demand. But just for our interest here, I'm going to put this here just to show that it is a true supply. So let's just go. Now, what have we got in here? What we have is a supply formed over here. We also have a supply formed over here. So what's with this? We now have a trend change. We have lower highs and lower lows, as I say. So as we push price back up, what are we going to have? We're going to have retail sellers coming in over here, and that's fine. You're going to take those sells a little bit, and then you're going to put them under pressure. Their sells now from that supply are looking pretty bad, and they're hoping to have maybe a rescue over here at this supply. So that's okay. You can make this supply look like it's working a little bit. Well, we're all very tight in there. But then ultimately you're going to break the supply. You're going to push it up over here. So where you had sellers here and you had sellers in here as well, because this is the better supply price altogether, you are now taking their stops, and those sellers now are turning into buyers. And that's fine, let them turn into buyers. So we can just push it up, take all their stops, and what can we do? Well, we can start getting the breakout traders in there as well, and we can start getting them to start buying and do something like this. That's wonderful. So you've got your buyers now in, and you're going to want to be selling to them. So as you're up over here, you can sell again because you're now absolutely proven to be in an uptrend again. So you're going to sell to all the buyers up above here. You've got the stop losses, you've got the breakout traders, all of that, and there you can start going in heavy. Now, then what do? Well, you come down again. because you want to cause as much confusion as you possibly can in these guys. So what have we got? We've been an uptrend here, and now it's time to get back down into a downtrend once again. So we're here and we're here. And we're really leading these guys on a merry dance. And in the best compressions, we're going to come down to the MPLs down over here. Bum, bum, bum. Bear with me. Let's get this. So there's, for want of a better word, demand in there. Okay. So what have we got? We're going to start making lower highs and lower lows on the way to the demand down there. So with that, you are able to swap out your orders really well in here. And the institutional traders have something really great on their side nowadays, and they have had for some time, and it's high frequency trading. High frequency trading is absolutely brilliant for them. They don't have to dump a load of orders in the market and then see what happens. They can put in what are gigantic orders for us, but for them, they're tiny little orders, loads and loads of little orders, just to see what happens when they're in there, because they don't want to put in a ton of orders somewhere and have price shoot away. They want to put it in little increments without moving price too much. So with high frequency trading, they can test exactly how many orders there are in the market against them and how many they can use up without moving price too much, because they never want to move price too much. They want to be in on every single move and get the best value out of every price. So high frequency trading is brilliant for that. So okay, what have we got? We now have this little swing, and then we have that little swing. That swing came down to the MPL of this one, which is great. So you're going to start doing the same thing again. You're going to start showing that now we're in an uptrend by getting this over here, and you know we've got supply traders there, and we've got supply traders there, and we've got supply traders there. So you've got people selling at these levels because they believe in supply and demand. So you can start showing that yes, price is going up now and really scaring people. And with that, you're going to have your last supply is the same as over here. Excuse me. So now your last supply is in there. Of course, as I say, there are other supplies in there as well, and you will get people selling at these because they believe in supply and demand. Fine. So ultimately, you're going to take their stops. Because with sellers there and sellers there and sellers there and their stops above there, it's buys up there. And remember, we want to be selling in this area here. So, and we're going to start selling at here. That's what we decided we're going to do. So with all these stops above here, we can get great amounts of sales in and start filling our books to swap our orders around from long to short. And then we just start repeating this whole thing over and over and over again. And it's great. Now we can actually trade compressions as they're happening. We can be trading these demands as we go and always expect price to go up above the highs that we've got over here. We can't expect them to go too far beyond it because we know the price is going over to here. So it's going to start compressing over to there. So any trades that we take on these demands, they're simply going to be trades allowing the stop losses over here to be taken and then expecting price to come back at us again. So we don't hold these for, or we can hold these all the way if we like. Absolutely, we can hold them all the way, but prices are going to come back to us quite a few times, or come back towards us quite a few times. But we generally don't tend to have a reversal engulf until we're much closer to the target up here. So don't expect any reversal engulfs over here. I mean, don't expect this to get broken by that one. It's going to come down towards it now. It just doesn't happen so much. Now, okay, so here we go. More confusion again. We're going downtrend again. So there we go. And that is, in the best compressions, you're going to get this coming down to the MPL of this over here. They're the best compressions, where these will come all the way down to here. Take those out. They don't have to exactly, and there are tricks which I have explained in Read the Market, and I've explained in more detail in the Academy. There are tricks to be really precise in these things. But for now, it's just rule of thumb that we're going by on this. So that's it. We now have, yes, it's an uptrend, but we're making downtrends as we go, and we're causing tons of confusion. But in the end and ultimately what we're doing is catching stops above all of these highs. These stops there are there for us to, or for the institutional traders, they're there for them to fill their orders. Simple as that. So here we go again. You got supply traders here, you got supply traders there, and supply traders there. Retail is going to be selling and selling. So that's it. So we make these work a little bit, but we're still putting them under pressure because they are sellers after all, and sellers don't like it when price is going up. So they're expecting this to hold, and what happens? Well, once again, it just doesn't hold. And it doesn't cost the institutional traders an awful lot. With the high frequency trading, it doesn't cost them an awful lot to watch the retailers fight it out amongst themselves at places like these, because some retailers will be buying and some retailers will be selling, and they can cancel each other out very often. So it doesn't take a lot of orders for the ITs to actually break the highs on these things. Same as breaking the lows down here. They can let the retailers fight it out amongst themselves, and they'll only get in once the stop losses are being taken or are there for the taking. So it's a cheap way of the ITs for getting in. So what have we got now? We now have another higher high over here and a higher low over there. So what we're going to be looking for the usual MPL of this guy over here. And we'll be looking for the same rubbish to happen again. Really, the same stuff over and over again. So it's up here, catch the stops above this. Okay, we'll draw that one in too. It does make it all a little bit messy, but you know, just for reference and to have everything on the chart, it's there. So there, supply is getting broken all the way, demand's getting respected, MPL's getting respected. Brilliant. This is how it should be. So then we just carry on the same stuff over and over. Boo, 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 boo. Higher highs, lower highs, lower lows, blah, 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 blah. All this same sort of stuff. Boo, 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 boo. Stop losses down below here, of course. And that's it, down to this MPL again. And we're going to do the same thing. Get our supply traders in here, supply traders in there, supply traders in there, blah, 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 blah. Hoping against hope that this is the final place to hold price. Because you can trick them over and over and over again into giving you their stop losses. It's just amazing how the retailers keep getting mucked around by the institutional traders. Just amazing. But, you know, they believe in their systems, and their systems are proven to work, or they look like they're proven to work. They don't, however. Okay, so more of the same. So here we're just going to do the same again, and come on up again towards the level. Build your supply-demand traders, supply sellers in there. Let it look like it works. Get the supply traders in again. Make it look like it's working, and then, of course, put them under pressure. Put them under further pressure. Let the supply work maybe a little, then put them under further pressure again, and more stop losses. More breakout traders. Great. So you got tons of buys again and again and again. So this thing just plays itself out over and over again all the way. And it can be frustrating to watch, but in a way it's very beautiful to watch as well. I used to love just watching the dance of price and knowing exactly what's going to happen next, but still really appreciating what they're doing. Because it is beautiful what they do, and yes, it's ugly that they make so much money out of people's misery and whatnot and confusion, but you know, if people opt to get into this game, then they're just going to have to be prepared to lose, I suppose. So we do the same thing over again, higher highs, blah, 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 making our way up. Make this work, make it fail. Confusion, confusion, confusion. Now, in all of this as well, I mean, this can happen in any time frame. So during this, the institutional traders can really take loads of little trades in these areas as well. Yes, they've got the bigger picture that they're moving up to here, but they can still make tons of trades in the meantime, just little low time frame stuff to fill their books and to make money. I mean, just inside this area here, there are so many tricks you can play just to make money. They don't change the PA of any of this. They're never going to break a low. They're never going to break a high on this scale. But inside there, they can do absolutely loads of stuff like compressions, Quasimodos, all that sort of stuff. Loads of PA, loads of different trades they can be taken. But on this particular scale, they are definitely definitely going up towards here, and that is that. So ultimately, what you're going to have is a formation like this. It's swapping out all of their orders, but they can take loads of longs, loads of shorts all the way in here to fill up their books as well. But ultimately, once they start breaking these highs on the way, they are turning themselves from long to short. So yes, when a high gets broken, you have to think to yourself, not that price is now going up. If a high gets broken, you've got to start wondering, well, is it time for price to go down? And it's the same when a low gets broken, you have to start wondering, well, is this just a stop point? Is it time for price to go up? Retailers always think that a high being broken means price is going up and a low being broken means price is going down. That is so often absolute rubbish, but it's just what they've been taught from the very, very start. Okay, you're the wrong color. You offend me. Go away. You're the right color. Please me. Go in. Okay. And it's the same thing over and over again. Draw some more price going on. Blah, blah. Confusion, confusion, confusion all the way. Trends changing everywhere. And more of it. Let's see. Ba-bum-bum. And then look here, we'll even get an engulf back up again, and that's great. And what'll we do? Well, we'll confuse them because the diamond is a wonderful thing as well. We might as well put some other bits of PA in here. Ultimately, though, we are still looking at catching the stops above here. And that's what we'll do. Boop, boop, boop. Say there. And you're the wrong color too. Don't be so offensive. Come over here. Alright, that's better. So, okay, more of the same, swapping out of the orders, going from short to long, or long to short. Bum, bum, bum. And we can go and go and go. Make this look like it's working, even make it look like it's working really well. Great. Now, of course, you're going to have more sellers even in here. And then you can put them under pressure. Loads and loads of pressure going on. Make them look like they're looking good again. We do not travel from right to left, we travel from left to right. And then we can go and pop these again. Take all of these guys. That leaves us then with another MPL over here. Ba-ba-boom. Another one over there. And then we're getting close over here. Boo, 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 boo. Now what I want to do is draw one with a low which is pretty close to over here. So how am I going to do that? Oh well, we'll make it work. Boo, 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 boo. It doesn't have to be, of course. Right. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. Sorry, I do tend to bump to myself an awful lot. Everybody knows this already. Drawing price. If you're not used to drawing price, by the way, start getting used to drawing price. It's the most amazing tool you can have. Is just looking at all your levels and making price react to them or break them, and then doing the retraces and whatnot. Get used to doing this an awful lot. If you're not used to drawing price, how can you look at a chart and go to the right-hand side of it and imagine what's going to happen next? You have to be able to predict what's going to happen next, which means you have to start drawing price. So that's one big thing. In the Academy, in RTM, everybody should be drawing price all the time. So okay, then we're down to here. Now we can find ourselves coming back up again. I'm going to have to switch this over to here, make it longer. It's cool though, I have the technology for that. Alrighty, and we're coming back up again. Boop, boop, boop. Delete, I don't want you. So, okay. Coming over here. We'll let this be the last swing. My favorite compressions look a little bit different to this, however, let me just show you why. Now I'm getting bored with this, so I'm just going to push us straight up over here. Now, Here we go. This has come over to there, and there's the last one of these over here. Alrighty, so that's the last demand. Now, with these things, what we have is price compressing all the way up to our target over here. Now, what I love on these are where it's slightly different to this. It's where this is much, much closer. Much closer. It ends up being somewhere around, let's say here. This low ends up being around here, but I kind of put in too much detail over here and got myself too far away from it. But that's perfectly okay. It's all right. The mechanics are still the same on all of these. Now, what does this mean? It means that they have swapped themselves out. They've swapped out their orders quite well. And by the time they're up here, they have caught so many stop losses and so many buyers that they have sold as much as they need. And they've gone from net long to net short for themselves simply by getting everybody to buy on a high level. So all these breaks up here do get all the buyers in, so it's allowed them to sell to them. Now they're up at the target over here, and then they can have a really, quick reaction here because they don't have so many orders left to fill. Now, they can bring it straight down through here. Now, price action is what we're always looking for. Always looking for price action. Now, the first piece of price action once we've hit our target is to actually come and break the approach flag. This is the approaching flag, and here is the break of it. Now, when it breaks this, it's going to go to the MPL of the next flag, so long as the MPL of the next flag is still clean. Now, what happened? Here's the MPL of the next flag, but it is not clean. This has taken the orders that were in there, just as this took the orders that were in there at that MPL, just as this took the orders that were at that MPL, and this took the orders that were at that MPL, and this took the orders at that MPL. So now there are no clean orders left inside here. So what does that mean? That means, wonderfully, that price is just simply guaranteed to go right through all of this area and down here to the tip of this flag. So what we had were loads and loads of flags, but those flags actually turn into a pole. There is no set of orders, or set of clean orders anywhere inside here, so price is free just to plummet through all the way down to the other end of this flag. It doesn't have to go past this flag. There's no reason for that. We have lessons on price action and whatever that'll tell you whether or not it's going to start breaking these things or whether it's going to hold there. But all you can be guaranteed is going to the other end of the flag. And that happens over and over and over again in the market. So what you've just got to start looking for in compression is simply the tricks being played and the higher highs, or, compressions can be going down as well, and look for the lower lows. But you look for the stops being taken over and over and over again with a series of MPLs being taken out on the way. So that what you have, it's the first time in these webinars I've ever put in something like a trend line, and it isn't a trend line at all. It's not something which gets hit and hit and hit every time. Where the line is doesn't matter, but it just shows you, I mark my compressions with trend lines just to show you that this is a compression. This is price swapping out on the way to its target so that then it can break through. Here is the first piece of PA, break this, and then you're going to get to the other end of it over there. Now, it doesn't always look exactly like this. It can be quite messy, but this is generally exactly how it works. So if you go to your charts, you're going to see them all over the place. Let's see. Let's open up a chart. Okay, there's the euro. Pip, you are not coming in. You can stay outside. Too noisy by far. Let's put this out of the way. Alrighty, have we got any here? Okay, well, we do. Here's a compression over here. As soon as price got into the compression, it was always going to go to the other end of it, and it went there really quickly once it got to the other end of it. Here's stacked zones. Did they take out all the MPLs? They didn't take all the MPLs out absolutely perfectly, but once price got in there, actually this is a good one in that it made a diamond. So look to last week's, last week's webinar about the diamond and see that this is a diamond and it is a nice one. All right, any others here? Here's a compression inside here. Once price gets into this compression, or once price gets into this zone, it's going to come all the way to the other end of it, and it just does, especially once price is up at its target area. Now, we know about left shoulders now, and we know about targets, etc. in those left shoulders, so we're pretty cool. Price has gone up to its target up there, and now it's free to come down through here. So yes, here's another compression. And they just work and work and work and work all the time. Here's a small compression. You'll hardly even see it in here, but this is in itself a compression. If you go into a lower time frame, you might see it better. Where the hell's it gone? Hold on. Ba-ba-bum, there. And boo. So here's another one here. Oh, over here, another compression. They're all taking it out. And they happen in all time frames, and they just work. Another compression over here, really gorgeous. Price gets into it, and look how quickly it moves, gets to the other side pretty fast indeed. Really gorgeous. They happen over and over and over again. So once you do start seeing compressions happening in the market, you have no idea that they're going to work and that they are actually going to swap price around and are actually going to be broken back into until price actually breaks back into them. Once it does break back into them, it can move very, very quickly heading to the target. But if you are lucky, you will get price breaking into a compression and then retracing back to the last MPL that we've got before it, and then we can get ourselves a wonderful trade with a really tight stop on it and a very obvious target on these things. And they happen all the time. So thank goodness for high frequency trading. It's one thing which has allowed us to see very well exactly what the ITs are doing and to be able to trade with them when they actually give us PA. So it's a fantastic piece of price action, which you really should be watching all the time. Now, when I started using this stuff, I would say to myself, hold on, where's my chart thingy? I'd start saying to myself, okay, well, price is now compressing all the way up to the target, so I'm going to take a touch trade at the target. Sometimes it worked, and sometimes it just didn't. Sometimes it burst through, because they're not always going to be so predictable as to make every single compression work. Because in these things, there are a lot of tricks that they can play, and there are a lot of different maneuvers they can make to keep themselves relatively flat in the market or keep themselves going long throughout this. But generally, when you see a compression happening towards a lovely zone, then you can start thinking to yourself, okay, I'm going to get ready for price action to occur so that I can take this. There is no price action whatsoever until you actually break back into the compression. So you will go to the last approaching flag limit, get in there. Once that breaks, you actually have your price action. As I said, the best ones are when the last flag limit is extremely close to the target over there. I did draw this one really widely, and I'm sorry about doing that, but you know, sometimes we do have compressions which are so close to their target that we have no reason to take them, or we just can't justify taking them because the retrace could be massive. I mean, once you see price break this down here, do you really sell on the break of that, knowing the price could retrace all the way back up to there simply for a reward of this? I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me. So when the last MPL is very close to the target and the turning point, then these are brilliant. And they do happen a lot. You can get massive compressions. You can get really deep compressions through hundreds or thousands of pips. And you can get in really early on the reversal of these things and know for certain the price is going to get all the way back through that compression again and get to the other side of it. Can make a fortune for you. Some of my best trades have been compression trades. They're very, very simple. And if you can get price breaking into a compression and then retracing deeply, you are absolutely laughing, and you've got massive rewards on such a trade. So yes, when a compression happens, you can, absolutely, you can trade the break and keep your stop beyond the initial target, and then keep your target over your first target at the beginning of the compression. There's not a lot of R on this particular one, but when it's up here, there can be giant R, so make it work. The best ones, of course, are where you have a deep retrace after you break in. Let's say, boom, boom. You get price breaking into here. and then it gets itself back up again. That's brilliant for you. You can take a trade from there quite happily, and you've got an absolutely gigantic R on this. So as for live examples in the market, there's a couple on the chart. You'll always find loads of these on the charts, but the best place to go, I suppose, if you want to actually see them and see hundreds of examples of them, is go to readthemarket.com and go into the forum on the section about compression, and you will get so much homework there. And of course, students throughout the ages have been making their own threads about their compressions, so there's tons to be learned. There's just thousands of examples on the site of compressions, and people have been helping each other out an awful lot in working out which are good compressions, which are bad compressions, which are absolutely true ones, and which just aren't at all. So feel free to go into readthemarket.com and find them all in there. Make a journal, homework journal yourself, and people will help you to work out what are the best ones. That's pretty much, apart from the truth of the market, that's one of people's favorite things about RTM, is that people do help each other out, because we have a philosophy that you learn an awful lot by teaching, and you really do learn an awful lot by teaching. If I hadn't explained everything that I was learning as I was learning it, I might not know nearly as much as I know now. So yes, learning by teaching is the way. So go into readthemarket.com, find the compression thread, find the compression homework threads. There's just so many examples. I was looking in it today, and it's just, I was inundated. Like, I could not pick any particular charts out because there were just so many of them. So you go in there and you will find them. Learn about compression. It's just a fabulous, fabulous piece of PA. So okay, that is that lesson done, and I'm going to open up to questions now. Maybe there are questions. Oh, here's the thing. Right, questions. Do we have any? Oh, we do. Okay, is this going to be rescheduled? Why? Has something gone wrong? No, we're on time. Can I get a copy of it? Okay, I won't be bothered with those. Yes, they're all being answered anyway. That's great. Okay. What does an MPL look like? Can you please show on candlestick chart? Well, I did show in maybe 2 webinars back what an MPL looks like, but okay, just very basically, here's what an MPL looks like. Just straight up on the chart, this is what an MPL looks like, right there. It is a trick having been played in the past, and we're going to look for tricks being played in the future, coming back to it. So here is a nice high. There are going to be tons of stops above there. So you'd imagine that when price gets back up here, it's going to start looking a bit bearish to get sellers in, and then take their stops above this and come up to this MPL, and then you can bounce from there. Now, of course, maybe there's something higher over there. We have to read the full story of price. I mean, okay, look, even, you see, that's the thing. You have to read the full story of price. Over there, there's an even better set of orders inside there. So essentially, this is the MPL over here. That is a high pain level, absolutely. Over there is the maximum pain level. Really maximum pain level. You could even say inside there too. It's very close. So yes, any of these can be the place that bounces price, but you know, institutional traders, they want the best possible price. So the maximum pain level is the best possible price where a trick has been played in the past. So the real MPL of this is right inside there. That is the level for it. Still tons of stops above there, so expect to bounce from up there. Okay, MPL, maximum pain level. Okay, it is mentioned in past webinars. Yes, it is. It's all over RTM. It's been all over the last few webinars. Yes, I'm sorry about this. It's just, I really can't, if I'm doing a webinar on a certain subject, I really can't explain every single term that I use throughout the webinar. It just, otherwise it's just a lesson in basics repeating itself ad nauseum. So yeah, just look around on RTM, look at the past webinars that I've done in investing, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. Please show us all that on live charts. I showed you a few of them there on this particular chart. They are there. There's just hundreds of them all over the place. Can you send me, please, a valid email address? I found there are many things that doesn't work. I tried to notice them, but nobody answers to my notices. Okay, I don't know. Gil will take care of all that stuff that doesn't work in RTM. Okay, right. I don't understand. Fine, you can deal with Gil about that. Is there any point to this stuff? Sorry. No, there's no point whatsoever to any of this stuff. There's no point in learning about the market. There's no point in understanding the market. The best way to make money is just to buy or sell stuff randomly. No, there is a point to this stuff. It is market mechanics. It is the mentality behind the market. Yeah. If you feel that there's no point to any of this, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, there's loads of other jobs. But if you want to be a trader, understanding how the market is kind of a prerequisite. Which time frames often hold up to this principle? Absolutely any one of them whatsoever. We have taken compression trades on the monthly charts. We've taken them on the tick charts. They just work on every single time frame. Yeah, I'm still reading at the is there any point to this stuff? That's just funny to me. What's your average holding period in a trade taken on 4 hours? There is no average. There really isn't. It's like saying how far does price move in a day? You know, there's no saying. Sometimes a price moves 10 pips in a day. Sometimes it moves 1,000 pips in a day. It all depends. Average holding time on a 4-hour trade. Sometimes if I'm trading on the 4-hour, I'll get in at the very start of an H4 pin bar, and I'll get out just as the pin bar closes. So you know you can do these things. You can be in a trade on H4 for 10 minutes, or you can be in it for an hour, or you can be in it for a month. I remember one gold trade I took on, I think it was on the M5 I took it, and I was in it then for another few months after that and got thousands of pips out of it. Whereas on a daily trade, I could be in there for 20 minutes, you know. There's no averages. There's no rules about any of this, how fast price has to get to its target. Wow, now it works, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday it didn't. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Your examples are boring, even getting sleeping now. We need practical examples, please, not these drawings. Okay, all right. Maybe I should just show you absolutely loads of stuff that doesn't work and not explain any of it. Right. Okay, Futomi. Right, I won't be answering your PMs. Hi, if. Yeah, good. That's another good question. People are so rude sometimes. You do catch a lot more flies with honey than with vinegar. That was vinegar. I didn't like it. What about the tree drive? It's the same as CP. Yeah, the tree drive is very much the same thing as compression. I would say if the tree drive is catching the MPLs, then absolutely it's compression. If it's not catching the MPLs, then it is stacked zones, which work very much like compression, but they're not guaranteed like compression is guaranteed. So be careful about that. Watch for the MPLs being taken. Sometimes I had observed that price is being compressed, but it does not move in such a way that we are expecting. For example, if price is compressing up and then it does not move, for example, if price is compressing up and then it does not move, do not at decision point. It breaks the decision point and carry on going up. Oh, can you illustrate something on it? Of course. Now, if it had never been mentioned on the internet that the compression works, and if it had never been explained about compression, then maybe every compression would work. But it has become a little bit popular now, ever since Red brought it up in Prices Everything, and then we took it on and worked on it in Read the Market. Compression is becoming known. And with something becoming known, it can be manipulated. So that's why I was saying that at the start, maybe when I saw price compressing to a level, I would just get in at that level, but sometimes that level would break. And that level just breaks simply to either make price action for a bigger move in the direction that it just broken because it's a really strong level, or maybe they're just going to playing around with us, making us doubt our impression of the compression. That's why we never ever take a compression trade until we've actually broken into it. We have broken the last flag or the last flag on approach, whether it be on the way up or on the way down. You've got to break that flag, otherwise there is no price action. Seeing compression in action is great, and it can tell you to be ready for the price action to get in on a trade, but it does not tell you to get in on a trade. You have to break into that compression first. I mean, you can see over here, this price is compressing down to this area. That's absolutely fine. There is no getting into the trade. In fact, maybe this is the compression over here. There's no getting into the trade until you actually break the first high on the way over, then get in at a retrace to the MPL over there, and then you can get yourself all the way up into the other end of that compression again. But just saying, okay, price is compressing down to here, whatever this level is, price is compressing down to here, I'm going to touch trade it there, and price is definitely going to come all the way up through. No, we don't expect that. We have to have that price action first, getting us into the compression. That gives us our target on the compression. So then we have price action, we have a target which hasn't been hit yet, we have a place to put our stop loss on it, so we have a trade that we can work with. Get in on the retrace, and then our first target is up over there at the other end of the compression. Simple as that. No entry whatsoever, just on touch trade of the level. That's just for idiots or for geniuses. Is there a difference? I don't know if there's a difference between idiocy and genius. Maybe not. Okay, how to know this is the last leg to get in? You see, that's the thing. It's not about approach, it's about reaction. Compression happens on approach, absolutely. Our trade only happens on reaction though. We come down to our level, then we get our reaction, which is our price action, into the compression zone, then we have a trade. So yes, how to know this is the last leg to get in? You don't. You just do not know what's the last leg. Yes, when our target has been hit, we know we've hit our last leg, but there is no entry until the target is hit and then the engulf back into the compression happens. Then we know we've got a trade. How much RR should we take in such trades? How long is a piece of string, I suppose? How much R? I just love my really high R trades. Taking anything under 5 times just doesn't seem worth it to me. But you know, 5 is great. 5 times risk reward. It's really good. I love my 20s. I love my 40s and 60s and whatever. I love really massive returns. But you know, we don't always have to wait for those. Yeah, so something around 5R is really good. But you know, when you have a few trades and a few setups which you take over and over again, and they work most of the time, you don't even have to be on 1R to be making a profit, you know. But you might as well be ambitious. I like to think that people should take trades that they will want to put up on their wall afterwards. You know, hang them as a piece of art. Did you see that trade I took? Look at that. And then you just look at it and remember, oh my golly, that was fabulous. So no half-ass mediocre trades. There's no need for half-ass mediocre trades. Take really special ones. Take really absolutely beautiful ones, and you will compound your account into something massive in no time anyway. So you don't have to be an excited little doggy running around hopping on every trade that there is. You can be really cool about it and take the very, very, very best ones, have a life at the same time, and just make loads of profits. Okay, what time frames do you normally focus on? Any time frame is fine. I answered this last week. I like high time frames now because I don't like trading. Trading is just a way to make money, I suppose, and I don't need much of it, so I'm happy to do the higher time frame stuff. But you can just muck around on the M1 chart, you can muck around in the tick chart with price action. You can be trading all day. You can take hundreds of trades in a day if you like. It looks like compression PA is just break out of up trend line or down trend line. Well, if you can explain to me what a trend line is and the significance of a trend line, maybe you can explain that a little bit better, but I know trend lines extremely well at this stage, and they're not what people think that they are. So yeah, trend lines, you know, this here broke a trend line. Does that mean that it's price action? Absolutely not. It doesn't mean that it's price action. No, real price action has nothing to do with trend lines, really, believe me on that one. This can be found in any time frame. Yes, absolutely, and can work in binary options. I don't know about binary options trading, but yes, it's price action. It's really simple. Could you use it on gold for this week or month? Absolutely, you can use it on gold for this month as long as we are actually compressed. Hold on a second. Let's see, gold. The guys don't like me sharing these templates, so I'm going to get rid of it and let me go default. Okay, what's happening on gold? This week, this month. All right, little compression in there, but that's dealt with. I don't see compression there. Hold on. Compression inside there, certainly. What have we got over here? I don't know exactly which compression you're talking about. Yes, we have compression here, so okay, if price breaks in there, then we do have a compression trade. But it got out, it bounced down pre-compression there, so yes, there's no compression trade to be taken yet. But if price gets in through here, it is going to go up through to the other side of that compression. So the answer, I suppose, is yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, getting in on that compression was good. It got you down to there, but it was really close. I mean, it was really, the target was really close on the break into this compression down to the target down there. So it's not a trade that you would absolutely love. That's why, as I say, I like the last low to be really close to the target area so that we have big distance to travel. But if we zoom out, still there will be a few more MPLs. Yes. Possibly, not always. I always like the absolute MPL on things. So I'm quite careful about picking my MPLs. But you're right, there may be that little one set of orders somewhere which will stop price. And there are things which can stop price through a compression. That is a big topic in itself, and it's not something I'm going to go into here. We're talking rule of thumb here on this one. Once there's nothing in the way, you do have a clear path all the way through to the other end of the compression. So how to identify the right MPL? Another good question. Not for this class, however. But yes, a great MPL is one where a trick was played in the past and then where a trick gets played on the way into it. Okay, how to use RSI for compression trading. The way to use RSI is throw it away, take it off your computer, never ever put it on a chart again. Seriously, don't ever use any indicators ever. They are just useless rubbish. So just get rid of them all. Don't ever use RSI. Where can I view your webinar archives? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. I'm the worst filer. I'm the worst archivist. I'm the worst person to ask where anything is. I don't even know where my mouse is at the moment. So yeah, you know, it's don't ask me these things. I'm rubbish at it. What happens in a downtrend like crude oil shorting since the last 3 years? Let's have a little look at crude oil. Crude. Do I see it right there? In fact, let me just open up a fresh one. Because the guys really don't like me putting my charts with the templates on these things. Boo, 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 boo. Crude oil, okay. Now be a live one. I have to get this questions window out of the way, get that over there. May, okay, damn it, you see, I hate that. Right, let me get a crude which is actually live. Boo, 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 boo. Now you are in the way. Let's refresh this. Where is my refresh gun? New order, blah, 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 blah. There used to be refresh here, wasn't there? Okay, show all, how's that? Not so much. N16 expires there. No, that's expired too. Okay. Oh, I don't know where the damn thing is. Let's find another one. Try this one, and we look for some crude. Boo, 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 boo. I know you're here somewhere. Coffee, blah, 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 blah. I know you're right here somewhere. Crude. Yay. Up, 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 Oh, Omid, Pip is, you're asking where is Pip? He is right outside the door and he's scratching on it, telling me I've made an awful mistake by leaving him out. So there is a question, what can I do in a downtrend like crude is shorting since the last 3 years? Okay. Boo. Alrighty. Okay, but there's a nice compression that we could have gotten in on crude. We could have been in all the way down on that one. That was absolutely fine. Price broke into the compression here, came back over to the MPL over there, and just shot its way down through. Okay, now is not the time for Facebook questions. I get so many Facebook questions. Oh, by the way, about sending me messages, private messages and stuff on wherever, I get too many of them to answer everybody, so don't ever be offended that I don't answer your questions. There are just far too many. So there's a lovely compression inside there, and price got us all the way through. That was handy. So what do we do with crude? Okay, well, at the MPLs, we look for price action to get us in at trades. Here's an MPL there. We will look over there to see if we can get in at a trade. If we get nice price action there, that's great. Here is another place we can be looking for price action to get in on a trade. So yes, what do? We find ourselves good levels. Pick the best of the levels, and if we get price action at those levels, then we can take trades. Whether it be trades up or whether it be trades down, it all depends on the level and the price action that's at it. So, okay, nothing really specific there on crude. Okay, is the webinar recorded? Yes, it is. How much RR should we take in such trades? Go the higher the better. Oh, hang on, I've already answered that, and that's by Vicky as well. Okay, questions are getting jumbled around the place here. It seems so easy for you to identify a compression. What are your rules of thumb? My rules of thumb are make sure that the MPLs have been taken out on the way. Here's an MPL of this one. That's been taken by that. It's been taken by this. Here's an MPL of this one. It wants to have been taken by the next one. Let me see there. That wants to get taken by this. This wants to get taken by that. Then we're on this one. This zone here wants to get taken by one as well. You just want your MPL zones to be pipped on the way. And once they are, then you are running out of orders to stop price. Useless webinar this is. Brilliant, thank you. Yeah. I'll go watch some porn or something. I'm sure you'll get more out of it. Could you look at nickel hourly? Was that latest fall caused by a compression? Nickel. I haven't looked at nickel in ages. Oh, by the way, I don't get offended by idiots at all. So don't worry about that. Nickel. Does anybody see nickel here? Let me see. Copper, Brent, cotton, gas, blah, 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 blah. Palladium, surely it should be in there with the, metals. I just don't have it here. There's no reason to have it in with any of the indices or the notes. I'm sorry, I just don't seem to have nickel here. I could spend all day looking for it. Maybe it's there somewhere, but I just can't find it. You sound like I recorded. Sorry, I forgot my silly comment. Okay, I'm fine, forgotten. Can you find a compression on an hourly trade? Absolutely you can. You said many times that the big guys are doing that to trick you, and the entire presentation presumed that somewhere are some big guys that manipulate the market. But almost all brokers are saying Forex market can't be manipulated because it is too big. Nobody can manipulate Forex market. Where is the truth? The truth is not going to come by the people that make the money out of losers in the market. You can believe me about that. The truth does not come from your people who are defending the market. The market is a very evil place. It's a horrible, disgusting, evil place. Do not be under any illusions that it is there for anybody other than the people that created it. It is a casino. It is a scam. It's just absolutely horrid. And if you don't know how it works and how they manipulate you, then you're just going to end up giving them all of your money. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm telling the truth. Surely just by saying it means that I believe this stuff is the truth. So, and a liar isn't going to tell you that he's lying most of the time. I don't care what anybody thinks about any of this. Anyway, it's completely fine by me whether you believe it or not. Best thing to do is just what I say to everybody, go to the charts and find out the truth of it yourselves. Yes, this market is all about manipulation. Absolutely, it's all about manipulation. It's about manipulation of fears, and it's about manipulation of hopes, just as all of our society is. So don't go imagining that it's not manipulated. It absolutely is. How can it not be manipulated when every correlated pair has the same price action going on all the time, and they turn at exactly the same instant? They don't even give a chance for anybody to do arbitrage anymore. Everything turns on a penny at exactly the same time. Yes, this market is totally manipulated. Every move is measured. So yes, don't go thinking it's not manipulated, because it is. You're doing a great job. Oh, thanks very much. It's good to get positive feedback. A good day. Is there something one can get, a PDF or such, that is a summary of today's webinar? Yeah, go to readthemarket.com. It's more than a PDF. It is an entire free website dedicated to price action. So go in there and take a look at it. They probably do not understand what you're saying. This is a great webinar. Thanks, Daniel. Yay. Yay. Yeah, much as I don't appreciate, or much as I'm not bothered by idiots, it's still nice to say, to hear that. Thank you. Information is golden. Thank you very much. How about on news events? Yeah, news events just pass price, or they bring price to where it was going to go naturally anyway. So setups are created before the news. Certainly they're created before the news, but the news event doesn't do anything crazy to price at all. It just finishes the price action. It just brings it to where it was going to go anyway. Okay, I just read that quote on the book How to Win and Influence Friends by Dale Carnegie. Nice one. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah. Sometimes I feel I'm part of the book How to Lose Friends and Alienate People, however, but you know, you can't have everybody on your side all the time. Hold on a sec, just getting a message here. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Wait now, bear with me. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Ba-bum. Hold on a second. Okay, gotcha. Good. Sorry. Yep. If thanks as always, great intro to compression. I will look into RTM homework to learn more on it. Excellent, that's what I want to hear. I really do want to have loads of people actually getting good at price reading. I've spent a few years looking for somebody who will trade my account, and I'm going to keep looking for somebody who will trade my account until I've found somebody who can trade my account. I found loads of people and created loads of people who can trade their own accounts, but trying to find somebody who will trade somebody else's account, it's just a big thing. It's a completely different world. So yes, I'm going to keep giving this information out until I find somebody to trade my account for me. Okay, is the Quasimodo and the Diamond the first course to start with? When is the next course? I see your website says July. Yeah, but you know, I'm really slow about putting these things together. Really slow about putting these together. And we will have more stuff. And there's the Academy proper as well is starting soon as well. So we'll be doing the big course there too. And I'm actually making some changes to that to make it something really special as well. That'll be coming out soon too. So yeah, just keep your eye on the banners and you'll see what's coming out next and when it's coming out. Can you show us your favorite break into compression? Oh, I wish I could, but you know, if you look at my journals, you'll probably see better which are mine. I have no memory of what's what anyway. I hardly remember any of my trades. Thank you, very helpful. Yay, excellent. My great pleasure. Okay, now it says no sound. I really do hope that we have sound. No, I'm getting no messages anyway from those in control saying that we're having trouble with sound. Okay, your webinars have been fantastic, like the RTM website. I've learned a lot from RTM and look forward to learning more. Ah, that's so cool. Thanks very much. Yes, there's always going to be a recording of this webinar, so you can always come back and watch it again. Can we expect more such wonderful webinars in future, and when and where? Maybe every once in a while I'll pop my head up and do a little something, I'm sure. For now, this is the end of me with this set of webinars for now, but you know, maybe I'll be asked back another time and maybe I'll say yes. I would like to be an RTM fund trader. How can I get you as a mentor for it? Show me that you can be. If you show me that you can be an RTM trader, you don't have to know absolutely everything about price, because I can certainly teach you all the most important bits about price. If I can find somebody that is able to trade well. Now, I'm not talking about reading price well. I'm talking about to trade well. Somebody who has, the metal just to keep it going all the time, and to face bad days, and to still hold your nerve through bad days, and really to be able to control yourself. Yes, self-control is absolutely everything. Knowledge is nothing without self-control. So if you can show me that you can run an account in such a way that you're not making any silly mistakes, then I will be very happy to teach you how to really work properly. It's kind of hard to say exactly what I'm looking for, but I think you know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who can learn to be a proper trader, and then can be it, and has the mettle to actually trade somebody else's money, because it is a giant thing. And I don't know the science of finding that person yet. I wish I did. If I had a personality test I could hand out to find out who's going to be the best person to trade my account, I would definitely put it out there and give everybody who passed it the chance. I love what you taught, and like to be someone like. Nobody wants to be someone like me. No, please don't ever be somebody like me. It's too hard. Could you kindly show where to place a target on a compression trade? Simply put it in at the first MPL on the way. Simple as that. Just bring it at the first MPL. And very often that first MPL has been picked and price will go right through it, but there's no guarantee the price is going to go right through it. So leave it at the first MPL. Pip, I will let you in a couple of minutes, okay? Jesus. How about looking at SPY, SPX? Hard to tell where levels are right now. If I see the letters SPY or SPX over here, I will go to them. There's SPI, it's not SPY. Okay, I have got. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Ba-ba-bum. Is that another term for S&P? I think it is. But why are there two of them? I don't know these things. Really don't know these things. M1, price compressing up to there. Okay, I don't think you probably want to know about M1. Maybe you don't even want to know about the S&P. Maybe you're talking about something completely different. Alrighty, all-time highs I believe on this, so there's very little information to be had on that. Now we're over here, we are coming into there. Yes, there's nothing. I wouldn't be looking for any longs on this until price got around to this area anyway. Certainly not. Where do I want to start looking for longs on this? I want to start looking for longs on this beneath this double thingy over here. I would start to want looking for longs on it maybe there. Tons of stops beneath there. That's where I'd start buying on it. Yes, there's a little something inside there. There's a bounce to be had to the next flag on the way to it, but I don't know where that flag is because price hasn't made it yet. So there's a little something in there. There's more to be had over there. Righty, next. Does MPL work for stocks? Yes, absolutely it does. Are you on YouTube? Yes, I have. We have a YouTube channel. It's readthemarket.com, all in words. I wanted to put more stuff onto it, but I've forgotten the password. So one of these days I'll make that work. Engulfing on FTR or DP decision point is important in reversing direction. Absolutely, we need that price action. We absolutely need that engulf. There is no price action without engulf. I joined last webinar. It was fantastic. I've registered an RTM website and I found only 2 webinar. So it only has, I missed 2. Yeah, there's 2 webinars from this site, but there are loads of different videos and all sorts of stuff. Look for the readthemarket.com, all in words, YouTube channel, and you'll find loads of stuff in there. Where we must put my stop loss in MPL zones beyond the zone you are working from. I think I said that last week. Always beyond the zone you're working from, not the high or low you're just creating now. It is beyond the zone that's a reaction to, always. How can I learn more about the market manipulation you've been talking about? Any good books to recommend? No, I don't know of any good books. There was one good book I read one third of, or one quarter of, or one eighth of, and it was Trading in the Zone, I think, by Mark Williams. I don't know how it ended up, but I was really impressed with the first chapter or two of it. So maybe there's something to be had in there. Yeah. The best thing to do to look at manipulation is just think about what it is to be a mediocre trader or a learner trader. Look at all the information that has been given you through different websites, which is absolute rubbish, stuff that you feel might be the truth. Usually that gets used against you. Simply about stop loss, or absolutely about stop loss placement beyond highs and lows, that sort of thing. That's just the most obvious manipulation that there is. But yeah, I don't really know of any sources for it. The charts are the best places to look for all of this. Everything plays out here, and nothing is ever hidden on the charts. So it does become instinctive seeing the manipulation that's playing in these places. Yeah, we talk about it an awful lot in the Academy anyway. When we have our meetings about our charts in the Academy, everybody is just really aware of places where tricks are going to be played, and that's it. When we're talking about the places we want to trade from, we're always going to talk about manipulation. Always, always, always. So you just get used to it, you know? How do I know which direction compression will break? You know which direction it will break once it has broken. Simple as that. Do you incorporate volume with this compression theory? Absolutely not. Don't use volume at all. I mean, who's going to give you the volume in the market anyway? If you get volume from a broker, that's the volume in your broker. Do you think that the entire market works through your broker, or that your broker is an absolute microcosm of the orders in the market? Absolutely not. The big orders, the really big orders, are not being put through your broker. They are being put by the institutional traders, and they own their own brokerages. Don't worry about that. You are never going to be on the same brokerage as them. So no, forget about volume. It's just rubbish. It means nothing. This is my first class, and it's really fantastic. Oh, that's great to hear. Absolutely great to hear. Okay, looks like oil is compressing right now. Okay, I'm being pushed for time, so I can't look at any more charts. Okay, I'll have a quick look. Where was that oil? I think I opened it over here. S&P, crude. Okay, it looks like oil is compressing right now. You see, I'll need a time frame for that. And if you try and type it in, I probably won't find it because the messages kind of go all over the place. Looks like it is compressing. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to know about the time frame you're talking about. There's a number of compressions in there to the upside and to the downside, so I don't know. I really can't comment. Where can we watch the recordings? They'll be put up on RTM. They'll also be on this site. Thank you very much for sharing the precious knowledge. Thanks very much. I love kind words. I do love them. I love them awful lot more than unkind words. You mentioned the webinar is recorded. Yes, I did. What happened with the ladder? Yeah, the ladder. I would love to have the time to work on the ladder, and I'm going to have to change the wording of the website. The ladder was a wonderful idea. I took up loads of people, promoted loads of people, and it was just left for me to hold it all together, and it was a full-time job. There weren't enough hours in the day to run the ladder. We're going to have to work out a different system for this. Absolutely, we're going to have to work out a different system for this. And for a start, there's just too many people in the site now for me to be deciding who gets promoted and whatnot. It's too hard. We'll work on something. Most important thing is for everybody to work together and to learn together and to teach each other and help each other. That's what it's all about. How about analyzing 50 or Nifty? Good idea. No time for this now. How is this related to Trading Zone? To Trading Zone, I don't know. I really don't know. We might even have different definitions of trading zone. For me, a trading zone is a place where you look for price to turn. This is related to that by once price gets there, if it breaks into the compression that occurred on the way to it, then we're going to the other end of the compression. That's how that relates to it. It is seen that many times institutional traders are buying stocks at MPL and selling futures at MPL. Is that a point to watch for price reversal? Absolutely it is. And damn straight it is. Do you trade with any indicator or pure price action? No indicators at all. Yes, we have a few indicators made up, but they're not those things that are going to be at the bottom of your screen telling you when to buy or sell. They're just like this here. This thing tells me what the thingy is, what the pair is, and the time frame. That's kind of the only kind of indicator I'll have. And then there's other indicators which drag rectangles over to present time, but no indicators whatsoever as you know indicators. I mean, Bollinger Bands and what's it called? Moving averages and all that sort of stuff. It's just absolute rubbish. It's an insult to think that we should ever use those things. I mean, anybody with any intelligence will just understand that they're total. Okay, I won't use bad language. They're really bad. This is my first webinar. So readthemarket.com saying, understand today's webinar very well. You're doing a great job. Thanks very much. Thanks, like the webinar. Okay, that's enough of that for now. Yes, there's somebody says Fibonacci. No, forget about Fibonacci. You can watch Fibonacci. That is one particular point that I'd like to make. You can watch Fibonacci because Fibonacci is an absolutely brilliant example of the manipulation in the market. Fibonacci levels are made to work sometimes. The guys they'll start a range and then they'll break a range and they'll say, well, where are we going to go to? Well, we're going to go to that level over there. That level was set up because we have a Fibonacci set up on there and we want to make it look like it works. So every once in a while, they're going to make Fibonacci levels work. And price is going to bounce absolutely beautifully from them, so that the people on the forums are going to run in there and say, look, I found a Fibonacci level and it worked absolutely beautifully. Fibonacci is the business. And then everybody starts trading Fibonacci for a while. And the institutional traders know that everybody's going to be trading Fibonacci for a while because it's all over the forums anyway. So they get tons of orders right at the 50% level or 62.8 or whatever it is. They get loads of orders at these levels, make them look like they're going to work for a moment, and then blast through them and take everybody's stops. Fibonacci is there to destroy your account. It's there to make it look every once in a while like it works, but ultimately it's there to make you fail. Do yourself or Gil do paid private lessons? Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I'm very expensive on that because I don't like too much spending my time. I mean, very expensive, so yeah, don't even bother with that. Yeah, but there's always the academy and also stuff like that. So okay, I've got a dog breaking down my back door here. It is absolutely time to let him in. Thank you everybody for coming along. I hope you got something out of this, and for those of you who think I was boring, well, that's perfectly fine. I do have a very slopperific voice. So thanks again everybody. Have a great evening, morning, night, all that sort of stuff. Thanks very much. Bye everybody. Take care of you.